and development in Nigeria and around the world. In this life, we are talking about the coming election tomorrow, local government election or council election as it is called in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Federal Capital Territory, Abuja is a unique geographic entity in Nigeria. It has only 6 area councils and is represented in the Constitution as councils rather than local governments. But that was because FCT, or the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is not a state. It's a Federal Capital Territory. To differentiate it from states, the local governments in the territory are known as area councils. And the FCT, over the years, has become a melting pot of Nigerians of all diversities. So this coming election tomorrow is one of the series of activities that differentiates FCT from the rest of the country. But FCT is a cosmopolitan entity, and that is why over the years, local government elections and even any election in FCT does not follow the pattern that you can see in the states. It's only in the Federal Capital Territory that you can get somebody who is not originally an indigene of FCT becoming the senator of the FCT, becoming a member of the House of Representatives representing the FCT, because of the unique position FCT occupies. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nyesom Wike, they want to alter the equation of the FCT. So it now remains to be seen whether Abuja will remain its usual self, or they will kowtow to Nyesom Wike and kowtow to Tinubu. Let me give you a big background in Abuja. The local government election in Abuja is the only election in Nigeria where you do not have bandwagon effect in terms of one party winning the whole councils. There had never been a time when one political party swept the whole of the area councils. But it has been alleged that that is what they are planning now under Tinubu and Nyesom Wike. And that will be an indictment on the Independent National Electoral Commission, because this election that is coming is going to be a test case of what INEC can be able to do. Yes, Nyesom Wike, as governor, he is used to conducting election where PDP will sweep everywhere. And Nyesom Wike was not alone in doing that. In most states in Nigeria today, the party of the governor sweeps the whole of the seats. And that is largely because the elections are conducted by the state independent electoral commissions. So the state independent electoral commissions are usually biased in favor of the sitting governor. Okay? So you see it play out state by state. If the governor conducting this is APC governor, APC will sweep the whole of the council election, both local government, councillors, and the council. They will sweep the whole council. They will sweep the chairmanship position. Okay, so that is what we used to have in all the states. No matter the party of the president, of the governor, as long as he conducts it, his party will sweep the place. Remember the last time, the election that was eventually cancelled that was held in Rivers State. Even Fubara chose one particular political party, and that party swept the Rivers election, because that had been the pattern. And Nigerians will be watching keenly the coming election, whether Tinubu and Nyesom Wike, in their usual, Nyesom Wike in particular, in his usual braggadocio, whether INEC will allow itself to be used to produce a blanket result, because this election is going to be very competitive. One of the reasons why it is going to be competitive is because even the big opposition leaders got involved in the campaign. You have seen Peter Obi campaigning in the Abuja area council election for the ADC. You have seen Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, campaigning in this election. You have seen Rotimi Chibuike campaigning in this election. You have seen all kinds of ADC leaders or African Democratic Congress people coming out. Once they saw Peter Obi do that, they know that they have to show capacity in terms of mobilization to come out, because that is how important this election is. And my take is that if this election is free and fair, it will send a signal to Nyesom Wike and his principal, Tinubu, that this coming election will be a political lesson for them, because Nigerians will use this FCT election to give them a sign of what is to come. And it will also show Nigerians, whether the Independent National Electoral Commission is ready for 2027. Professor Abu Petan is the one conducting the election. Federal Capital Territory Abuja, unlike the states, does not have State Independent Electoral Commission. It is INEC that conduct their elections. That is why council election in FCT is probably the most credible election you can get anywhere at the local level in Nigeria, because it's INEC. And if you ask the former INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, with all his faults, he has never conducted any local government election or council election in Abuja where the APC swept this place. So it had always been the wishes of the people that prevail. So everybody should watch Tinubu and Nyesom Wike closely on how the outcome of this election. It will give an indication of what is to come in 2027. Are they going to conduct it transparently? And if they conduct it transparently, INEC conduct it transparently, I believe strongly that Wike and Tinubu will be taught some lesson. Don't forget that in the last election, general election in 2023, Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not even get up to 20% of the votes in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. It was as a result of his not getting 25% that the Supreme Court embarrassed themselves literally by allowing a situation where somebody who did not get 25% in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, was sworn in. It was challenged in the court. But I remember vividly that Barrister Mike Ngini, on the eve of the 2023 election, said that nobody should be declared the winner of the election if he does not get 25%. That man, Ngini, former INEC resident electoral commissioner, Akwa Ibom State, that man was like a Nostradamus. It's like he saw it coming, and he was giving warning on national television that nobody should be declared winner of the coming election in 2023. And Tinubu was declared winner without getting 25%. So FCT had always occupied a unique position until Tinubu came on board. So Nigerians have to watch it closely, because if you are already, Nyesom Wike is boasting about the election. So the INEC must be able to prove to Nigerians that they have the capacity to conduct free and fair election. That is what it is all about. They must be able to convince Nigerians that they can be trusted to conduct free and fair election. Because FCT election is going to be conducted tomorrow by the INEC. And INEC, at least in the case of FCT, had been able to acquit itself very well in trying to conduct free and fair election compared to what you get in local government elections across the country, across the states of the country. I remember vividly the former INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, boasting that one of the things that he can always beat his chest was that FCT election is the only local council election where different political parties used to win election. Okay? So watch it closely. As Nyesom Wike is boasting, as they are doing all this, their braggadocio, is going to test run what these guys can do in 2027. Because we know the pattern of voting in the FCT. It's not like in the states. But already they have started doing some things that are unusual. For instance, today has been declared public holiday in FCT. It has never been done before like that. You don't need to declare public holiday. For what purpose? The public servants are being given public holiday. Yes, so we can declare it. These are not good signs, but it is for people to keep their eyes open and ears to listen. Because FCT election is like a national election. If you look at those who are contesting now, whether for councillor or those who are contesting for chairmanship, there are some of them as vice chairman and all that who are not originally indigenous of the FCT. That is how unique FCT is. So the election tomorrow is going to be a verdict on the Tinubu administration, whether you like it or not. It is going to be a verdict on the Tinubu administration, whether you like it or not. This is because despite the humongous amount of money that are being budgeted for the FCT, there are many places in the FCT that don't have access to drinking water, that don't have access to good roads, that they don't have good schools. You remember the hula balu it caused within the Nyesom Wike administration when P2B visited a school that was in a dilapidated condition. And that's exactly the issue and the kind of condition that will bring the verdict that you're going to see tomorrow. Are the FCT people better off today than they were before Tinubu and Nyesom Wike came on board? Are they better off? And if they are better off, in what way? In what way? Most of the votes that are coming from the rural communities in the FCT. That's where the real votes will take place. But Nyesom Wike is more concerned about building bridges. And the high cost of living in the country today. The people of Abuja, the residents of Abuja, are they insulated from that? Of course they are not. They are not insulated from it. They are passing through the same economic hardship like the rest of Nigeria. They are passing through the same lack of hospital, lack of electricity, poorly maintained schools, poorly motivated teachers. This is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where it took the very dark man to protest before Nyesom Wike paid attention to the problem of unpaid salaries of teachers. Yet they are budgeting billions and billions and billions, building houses for judges. But they don't think about building schools, equipping the schools. So this election is very critical. It is very critical because it's going to show a sign. It will be a test case of so many things. It will be a test case of so many things. It is going to test the readiness of the readiness of the Independent National Electoral Commission for the big election in 2027. It's going to be a test, a verdict on Tinubu, because whether we like it or not, by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Tinubu is the governor of the FCT. Tinubu is the governor of the FCT because he is the one that superintends over the FCT. And because he's too busy to do other things, being the president of Nigeria, he has to appoint a minister. In this case, he appointed Nyesom Wike. So the election is going to be a verdict on how Tinubu has managed Abuja, whether the Abuja residents are happy or not. But historically, Abuja had never voted for the government in power, especially since the APC came to power. Since the APC came to power, Abuja had always voted against the the president at that time in terms of giving massive support in the election. That was why you can see what happened in the last presidential election, despite the fact that Bwari conducted the election and he was an APC president. Even in his polling, the Aso Villa polling unit, Peter Obi of the Labour Party won there. So all eyes will be to find out if there will be any, if you see any bandwagon voting in support of the ruling government, know that there is a problem in tomorrow's election. When you begin to hear that Bwari has fallen to APC, AMAC APC, okay, Kuje APC, everywhere APC, then that should be a red flag. That should be a red flag because it doesn't happen like that in Abuja. Abuja is not Rivers State. Abuja is not Port Harcourt. So that is where people should watch. When you begin to hear that places are falling for APC, that is not democracy. That is not Abuja that we know. That is not Abuja we have been following all these years. But that is what is being rumored, is being worked up, allegedly. But we are going to see whether the Abuja people, Abuja residents, will fall in line to that agenda. And that will be against the run of play. It will be against what Abuja is in terms of elections. Because the truth be told, the APC at the center has not done anything to deserve the support of any reasonable Nigerian. On what basis will people come out tomorrow to vote for APC candidates? On what basis? So that's one of the things that people should be watching out for tomorrow. But historically, since APC came to power, it had always been the people of Abuja voting against the sitting government and their candidates. When Mohammed Bello was the chairman of was the minister of the FCT, when they did the election, it was PDP that won the Abuja Municipal Area Council. And Mohammed Bello did not immerse himself into the issue of the way Nyesom Wike is personalizing the matter now, moving from place to place, telling this one to step down, that one not to step down. It had been unprecedented. It had been unprecedented. So the election tomorrow is going to be an election that the people of the FCT will have to speak and speak unequivocally that they don't like both Nyesom Wike and the person that appointed him, because they have done a terrible job in running both the FCT and the country. That is what I expect. That is what is likely to happen. But will INEC allow the will of the people to stand? That is why we are good. In this channel, we're going to follow it up. We're going to monitor them very effectively to see what comes out. We're going to scrutinize it because we know the history of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in terms of elections. Elections in Abuja is not a one-man show. And it cannot start with Tinubu and Nyesom Wike. I know that because of the interest shown by the opposition that Nyesom Wike is determined to show his boss that he is in charge in Abuja, the same way he's claiming to be in charge in Rivers State. Okay, so that he's in charge. Remember recently, Nyesom Wike claimed that all the political parties has been collapsed into one in Abuja. Yes, that's what he said. All those kind braggadocio he was doing in Rivers, he carried it up to Abuja here and said that all the political parties, they have collapsed. They have been collapsed into one umbrella, all for Tinubu and the APC candidate. And he was saying any candidate who does not support Tinubu in their area council election, that he will not support the person. That was what he was saying. The national chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Alhaji Dantali, had to issue a statement debunking the claim of Nyesom Wike that all the political parties have collapsed into one, all for Tinubu, all for the Abuja election and all that. So you can see the kind of things he has injected into the process. Please, we would like to, as we discuss this FCT, we are discussing this FCT matter. I want you to, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And if you are watching this, I see you. I see those of you who are watching, but please like the video. It doesn't cost you anything to like this video. Okay? Just like this video so that we know that you are watching it, so that we know that people are interacting with it. So as you are watching, like the video so that you encourage us to do what we're doing. And we are doing this thing not for anything, but to ensure that we get it right in this country. Because part of the support you can give to this channel is to like, hit the like button. If you have any idea to suggest, you can suggest. But if you have nothing to say, but at least you like the what we are doing here, because what we are doing here is to draw attention of Nigerians to the election tomorrow, how critical it is in assessing what is to come. Because when they begin, if election tomorrow is not allowed to be free and fair, and the will of the people were truncated, it will be a sign of what is to come. But if after tomorrow's election, INEC was able to conduct it to the level that even the losers will be happy that they lost, because they cannot claim anything else, then there will be hope. There will be hope. So it's important we look at it critically, because this election is important. It is so important that you saw Peter Obi campaigning in it, campaigning for the ADC candidate. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, he was on the streets campaigning. You saw Chibika Amechi and others trying to be part of it. And the reason is because the FCT election is going to be a mirror of what is to come in the coming days. Whether we like it or not, the same method that INEC uses or will use in 2027 is what is going to be applied in Abuja tomorrow. It's not going to be any difference. It is the same thing. So but one of the things we have noted about Abuja is that the issue of vote buying is not rampant in Abuja, perhaps because Abuja population is one of the most enlightened and sophisticated residents anywhere in Nigeria today. Vote buying had not been very common. Okay, but we are going to see whether in desperation of the APC to score a point, if vote buying now become an issue in Abuja election. So people will also be looking out for all those red flags tomorrow. But given what we know about this administration, given what we have been hearing from the people on the streets, it is obvious that APC is going to be served a harsh verdict by the residents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Because what are we talking about? We are talking about things that concern the ordinary man in the street. Councils are the closest administration to the people. How are the area councils faring? What is the future of the area councils? And the verdict is that the area councils are passing through hell like the rest of Nigeria. Are they going to reward failure? Are they going to reward lack of capacity in addressing their problems? So that is the issue that is going to dominate tomorrow election. On what basis are they going to support the APC government and their candidates? That is the million-dollar question. So the election coming up tomorrow is going to be an election that Nigerians should watch keenly. What is the hope for free and fair election? Because the most important thing there is free and fair election. If the election is free and fair, I believe strongly that the residents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, will serve the same message they served to Tinubu in 2023 when they rejected him overwhelmingly. And he couldn't get up to 20% of the votes cast in Abuja. Atiku Abubakar even got better votes than him. That was how bad it was for him. So the council election is important. And for those who are voting tomorrow, they better ask themselves, who APC help? Before you vote for APC tomorrow, ask yourself, who APC help? The last time I checked, they have not helped any Nigerian, except those of them who are in the corridors of power. Whether you are in Kuje, whether you are in Gwagwalada, whether you are in Abaji, whether you are in Abuja Municipal Area Council, anywhere you are you better off today than you were 2 years ago? That is the question you ask yourself. Because by voting the APC chairmanship candidates, by voting for APC councillors, you are telling your children that you love the suffering you are suffering. You love the hardship you are passing through. You love your incapacity to take care of your family, to feed your children, your incapacity to be able to provide electricity affordably for your family, that you love this condition you are facing. That is what that will be the message for those who go flow with the APC. FCT is not notorious for vote buying. If they introduce it in this election, collect the money from the APC, because that is your money. Because if it is not your money, why would they give it to you? They are giving it to you from your money that they're supposed to use to provide schools for your children, hospitals for the sick, give you access road. Then tomorrow they will give you to vote for your APC. Collect it, but vote for your conscience. It is your money they collected, they misappropriated. Collect it and you vote for your conscience. So tomorrow is going to be a test. It is for you to know. Don't forget what Nyesom Wike has done. All the demolitions, even the ones with court order and everything. This should be the payback time. Even the workers of the FCT, they have given you holiday today. Use that holiday to send a message. Use it to send a message to Nyesom Wike and Tinubu. Look at all your entitlements that have been withheld by this government. Instead of paying you your entitlement, they took you to court. Nyesom Wike ran to the industrial court to ambush you people. And then you come out tomorrow to reward them. Under the APC administration, inflation has skyrocketed. Food inflation is the highest in history in Nigeria. Even the 70,000 naira minimum wage they are paying workers, that 70,000 naira by naira value of today is less than the 30,000 naira that was paid 2 or 3 years ago by Muhammad Bwari. So what joy do you derive if you're a worker? You're a civil servant in FCT to reward APC with your vote. That's why we are going to watch and see the outcome of this election. Who are those that are going to vote for the APC? So that's why INEC has to conduct transparent election. INEC has to conduct transparent election so that when the result is out, everybody will know that it was not an anyhow result. Okay? It wasn't a result that was just coupled by people to kind of in the interest of the establishment. Let INEC show Nigerians that they can be trusted. And if they cannot be trusted in Abuja by conducting free and fair election tomorrow, then it means that there is a big danger. Already, you know all the challenges with the Electoral Act about the transmission of results in real time. That matter is still pending. The president has signed the act into law, but that's not the end of the story. because that matter will still be revisited. If Tinubu does not listen to Nigerians, perhaps he will listen to those from abroad when they bring up this matter, because I know that this matter will always come up. Obiora John, I see you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. So that is it. INEC will show their hands tomorrow, for good or for ill, by their conduct in the election tomorrow. But as I wind up this live, if you have not yet still liked this video, please like it and comment, because as we are coming to as I'm coming to the end of this discourse, if you have anything to say, you can still comment in the comment section. The end of this live is not the end of the discussion. So the discussion continue till tomorrow too. We'll see what is going on, and we're going to talk about it in this channel. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.